So Bryan, last time we talked, one of the things we talked about was, okay, we have this great courtesy check with all kinds of stuff that we found on the car, but what if the client can't afford all that stuff, or what if we don't even have time to get all that stuff done? What do we do now?
Well, George, you actually bring up two other points here. You bring up building an estimate, and you bring up selling and presenting an estimate. Now, when you build an estimate, I would think you want to build this in piles. You break this out into piles. So you start with what the customer came in the door for. And you lead into the next step, which would be your second pile is going to be your courtesy check stuff, and the third pile is going to be the maintenance stuff. So as you go through that repair order, you're presenting it in piles. And then the key to all of this is knowing when to say when. After you said one or get one or two no's from Mr. or Mrs. Customer, then it's time to start to prioritizing a repair order and start sharing with them what needs to be done today, what should be done today, and what could be addressed in a future visit. These are the kind of things that help keep Mr. or Mrs. Customer feel like they're being hammered on the head. One or two no's, then start dropping down into smaller piles. Again, giving a customer power of choice.
Plus, in that way, if there's stuff that they don't get done, they can always come back at a future date, as long as you left them feeling good about what they purchased and they got value for their purchase. They come back again, they get the rest done. Would that work, Bryan?
That would work as long as you follow up with one other thing first. Remember, I let them out of the door with services that still should need attention. As a service writer, one of the first things I address the next time they come in the door after I've asked why they're here, I might want to go back and revisit some of the recommended services that were not performed. Because if you just let that hang out there, where's the importance of it now? You thought about it before, you're not thinking about it today. So George, all of that's good, as long as you just give them a reminder on services that weren't performed last time.
Excellent. Now, would you do that when they first come in on the second visit?
Well, during my normal write-up process, yes, I'm going to go through while you're here, my normal little chit-chat, my hugs and kisses, making friends, and I am going to remind them of some services that we did that we recommended in the past, and then we could be able or could service those today while they're here, and let them make a decision.
Sounds like a great idea, Bryan. Well, Bryan, you brought up a lot of great stuff there, but how am I going to learn how to do all that stuff?
Well, I got a simple answer for you, George. Come hang out at the ATI Service Advisors class. I have an instructor, Randy Summers, that does a phenomenal job working with folks in a sales process on building an estimate, preparing an estimate, knowing how to handle some objections, and knowing when to say when. That's how you handle that one, George.
Sounds good, Bryan.